and welcome to a brand new series on my challenge, a Let's Challenge of Ratchet and Clank, the original game of the Ratchet and Clank series. Not the PS4 game, unfortunately. I still don't have a PS4, so I still can't play that. I desperately want to, but I can't. So we're going back to the beginning, and we're going to play a retro, sort of a bit more retro game. We're going to be able to play some old school Ratchet and Clank. I love this game, I love this series as a whole, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to show that through this series. But like I said, this is going to be a Let's Challenge. And so previously I've done Let's Challenges based around trophies and about medal points in Jack X, but this time we're going to do something slightly different. And the reason for that is because I find this game relatively simple, relatively easy. It's dangerous to say that now if I fail this, but I would like to say, you know, I feel like I'm pretty good at this game. And for that reason I want to make it difficult. And so what we're going to do is we're going to introduce some sort of, essentially, kind of, I guess another name for it could be like a weapon lock. If you're going like Nuzlocke rules from like Pokemon or something like that. But we're going to use a weapon lock. And the way, what this is essentially the number of lives I have is proportional to the number of weapons I have. Because the Ratchet and Clank series is all about the weapons, and it makes sense to therefore make a game mode based around the weapons. So the number of weapons I have is proportional, is essentially the number of lives I have. Now, whenever I die, I lose a life, but I also lose access to one of the weapons that I have been using. And whilst there aren't any upgrade systems in this original Ratchet and Clank game, so I can't really limit which weapons I get rid of, I guess the easiest thing to do would be to say I have to get rid of the most recent weapon I've got. Maybe that would be best. Yeah, let's go with that. So every time I die, I not only do I lose a life, but I also lose access to using the most recent weapon that I've bought. So if that happens to be, say, the Visibomb gun, or one of the better weapons like the Devastator, then that's going to be pretty devastating, pun not intended, for me in terms of how I play the game. But yeah, no, this is going to be interesting. It's something I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to introduce Ratchet and Clank on this channel for a while. I was thinking about doing a speed run sort of thing, similar to my Let's Races, but there's issues with that in that just because I don't have a baseline time to sort of go by. Like, you know, obviously previously I've been racing against Teal Game Master, and they've already done their races, and I've sort of got something to go against. But without anything to go against, it's difficult to get the.
Attach robotic ignition system. Thank you for.
It's difficult to sort of stay really focused on going as fast as possible. But no, anyway, we are going to watch this opening cutscene. So here we are on the first planet, planet Veldin, which is our hero here, our hero Ratchet's homeworld. And so, okay, so another thing I should add is that the wrench, whilst the wrench obviously can be used as a weapon, it does not count as one of the weapons in this. What that means is, like, if I do, for some reason, get down to 0 lives, because I've been obviously playing really badly or whatever, if I do get down to 0 lives, then what I will be able to do is I will still be able to use the wrench, and yeah, that's sort of like my last gasp attempts to stay alive would be using the wrench to try and complete the game. Okay, so we're just going to make sure that we pick up as many bolts as possible, because obviously bolts are the currency in the Ratchet and Clank universe, and it's obviously going to be highly important, given that we're going to be needing to buy lots of weapons, to have as many of them as possible. I love this music. I love the Velden music of the first game. I think it's great.
You can interrupt.
Yes, I can interrupt you, so... So, alright, at the start of this game, you are automatically given a weapon. It is the bomb glove. And so, I already have 1 life, which is really nice. But I hopefully shouldn't be suffering any untoward deaths anytime soon, really. The first few planets of this game aren't too difficult. So as the help desk, I should say, was trying to tell us, that's nanotech. That's essentially my health. If I go to, yeah, you can see I've got 4 health at the top of the screen. Okay, so yeah, so we're just going to make our way towards that crash site, so as we saw that ship crash landing on Velden. We're going to be able to take out the majority of these guys. I think that robot is meant to take out that monster, I'm not sure actually. Just randomly jumping in front of him. But anyway, this guy's going to run away.
Use your bomb glove. Press the circle button to equip it, and the circle button again to fire it. You can also use it in first person while holding down the LM.
There we go. That's all the enemies down. We can just zip through here. So yeah, this is really one of the games of my childhood, and I do love playing this game an awful lot.
Interesting. You're quite handy with your wrench.
You bet. I built that ship with it.
Currently, I'm in search of someone who could be of assistance in saving the solar system. Do you know where I might find that fellow?
Well, he's on the radio every week. Other than that, no. Hey, what's with all this save the solar system stuff anyway?
Hello, citizens of... My race, the Blog, have a small problem. Our planet has become so polluted, overpopulated, and poisonous that we are no longer able to dwell here. But I, Chairman Dredd, have a solution. We are constructing a pristine new world using the choicest planetary components available. So, what does this mean to you, you might ask? Using highly sophisticated technology, which you couldn't possibly understand, we will be extracting a large portion of your planet and adding it to our new one. Unfortunately, this change in mass will cause your planet to spin out of control and drift into the sun, where it will explode into a flaming ball of gas. But, of course, sacrifices must be made. Thank you for your cooperation. And if you don't like it, you can take your wily, sniveling, snot-nosed populations, form a line behind me, and kiss my... We're still on? Well, turn it off, you idiot!
The people on those planets are hosed. Well, good luck getting Captain Quark to help you.
Actually, you could help me. If you could use your ship to take me to the coordinates contained in this info box, I might be able to gather further information there.
Even if I wanted to, I can't. I'm missing a crucial component of the ship.
The robotic ignition system.
How did you know that?
I, sir, happen to be equipped with the latest in robotic ignition systems. My programming allows me to start any ship I choose.
So, I agree to take you to this, wherever it is, and you get my ship started for me?
That is what I'm proposing.
Deal.
This could be a problem. Take care of it.
Whoa, this is great! So that's where I've been stuck this whole time.
Please return your appendages to the steering mechanism, sir.
Huh? Oh, right. Sorry. Oh, and by the way, you can stop calling me sir. The name's Ratchet.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, sir.
You got a name?
My serial number is B54296.
Oops. I'll just call you Clank for short. Hang on.
So you see, it would be most beneficial if your citizens were not in the city when my workers begin moving in.
Preposterous! I will not stand for this.
Unfortunately, you have no choice in the matter.
Let's just see what Captain Quark has to say about that, my good man. I don't see what's so funny. Captain Quark could dispatch you without even breaking a sweat. You puny.
You have now officially worn out your welcome and my patience.
This is your last chance. Stop this madness now.
Okay, wait. You're right. I will withdraw my troops.
Really?
No, he's all yours, gentlemen. Try not to leave any marks.
Clank? Where are you? Oh, sorry about that. Well, we're not leaving the way we came in.
Perhaps we could procure a ship from one of the inhabitants.
If there are any left.
So here we go, the start of planet Nivalis, which is the first main world in this game. We can see we have a new weapon available, the Pyrocitor, but we won't be able to get that for a little while yet. We need to grab some more bolts. So because we need to get some bolts, we're going to go through the little side route here. Doesn't actually have any... doesn't lead anywhere in terms of actually progressing the story at all, but what it does do is it gives us a chance to get a few bolts and actually get us a gold bolt as well. Gold bolts being one of the main big sort of one of the main big collectibles to find in this game, along with, so the gold bolts, along with skill points. So skill points are little hidden challenges within each level that if you do, you get, you gain a skill point for it. Skill points unlock things, I believe they unlock skins in this game. If I just go, it's not there, it would be under options or secrets or something, maybe it's unlocked when we complete the game. But we'll be doing our best to collect most of the skill points, most of the gold bolts in the game. So essentially a lot of the trophies in this game were just copy and pasted from the skill points, which I found slightly disappointing, but because obviously we're currently playing the HD remake, so this is the Ratchet and Clank collection on PlayStation 3 rather than the original on PS2. Just eventually. But yeah, no, I do like those opening cutscenes. You get, you know, you obviously get the obviously evil Chairman Drek introduction. You get introduced to the other characters as well. If you can see, this wall is quite obviously fake, and we can break through to gain our first gold bolt of the game. We'll be doing our best to collect them all. We should be able to collect them all in one playthrough, indeed. That shouldn't be a problem at all. So, where are you now? So, if I remember correctly, I mean, obviously, this is a relatively old, well, quite an old game now, and yeah, everyone has different experiences with the games that they played when they were younger and stuff like that. Now, I've just realised, I can't remember which Ratchet and Clank game I actually got first. I think it might have been 3. So I might have played Ratchet and Clank 3 first, and then only later got 2 and 1. But I love all of the games. This is certainly probably the weakest, but that's sort of understandable given that it is obviously the first of the series, and so there are sort of little things in it that just don't quite hold up compared to later entries in the series. But you'd sort of expect that. So we'll be able to get through here and ow! Be silly and get hit. So we can get our second gold bolt by performing wall jumps here. And gain a few more bolts. But yeah, no, you know, essentially the later games in the series, all they really, you know, what they did was they really deepened the mechanics. The wacky weapons that you get are made even better. You get weapon upgrades. You get, you know, a more satisfying bolt collection route. So you'll notice in this game, essentially, there are 2 types of the bolts that you see. You see the normal bolts, and then you've got the nuts, which are worth 5, and that's all you get throughout the game. And that sort of means it very much limits the speed at which you can collect money in the game. And that certainly is very slow compared to later entries in the series where you get money. You can get money very, very quickly by the end. So we've got to head over here. But this is the sort of second side mission here in Nivalis. Just making our way through this sort of pump section. Waterworks, I guess, maybe. But this was definitely the series that, along with Jak and Daxter, were the games that I was playing all of the time back when I had my PS2, and I must have played through this game so many times. And it was just one of those games which was like, as soon as because I guess unlike some people, the reason I got a PS3, and that was sort of like really necessary for me because my PS2 had actually just broken, as we're just going to get a cutscene here, so I'll stop talking.
Blasted! Look, plumber's cracked.
What did you just say?
I said, look, the plumber's back.
All right, wise guy. Shouldn't you be on one of them escape transports?
Escape transports?
Newsflash, giant robots attacking. The escape transports are taking all the rich folks off this goddamn planet.
So why aren't you on one?
Socioeconomic disparity.
What?
He hasn't got enough bolts.
Working people have to wait for Captain Quark to save us.
Well, got anything worth a lot of bolts?
I got this thing. Shows 2 weirdos ditching their ship. It's got coordinates to a desert planet, too.
An infobot. Ratchet, we could use that.
Geronimo!
Did he just slide down a sewer pipe?
Mayday, mayday! This is the solar ship Radical. We seem to be under attack from the planet's surface.
Relax, kid. It looks like some sort of fireworks display. Probably in your honor.
Whoa! That was close!
Ah! Pipe down, I can't concentrate.
Oh, we've been hit!
An unexpected detour. When we land, I'll see if I can scare up an exhibition for you.
We're not gonna live that long!
Kid, let's hamstring!
Eject! Eject!
Did you see that guy on the left? That was Skid McMarks.
Does he know Captain Quark?
I doubt it. He's a pro hoverboarder, always going off about how cool he is.
Looks like he's in trouble.
I'll say. I've never seen him look so freaked out.
Gadgetron info.
So there we go. We get our first infobot. You need infobots in order to be able to travel to new planets. We obviously have the access to planet Iridia, but we don't have a ship to get there. But no, like I was saying, so yeah, what was I doing? The limits on collecting bolts, stuff like that. Oh, I can't remember what else. I guess it was like the experiences. So yeah, I had 3 first, and then I probably got these ones. I honestly can't remember what I was talking about. That's really annoying. But obviously there we get introduction to the plumber, who is as Ratchet and Clank fans will know, is a character who has appeared in pretty much, I think it's every single installment of virtually every single one. There might be like a spin-off or a small game where he hasn't appeared, but he's like he's sort of like in many ways like a jokish character who sort of just randomly appears when you sort of don't expect it. And undoubtedly usually gives our hero something rather helpful along their something that will prove helpful along their journey. The other thing that the lack of upgrades in weapons does is it does mean that in this game sort of like there's a very consistent like all of the weapons end up being relatively like usable towards the end of the game. There's no like because what you often get with games that sort of you get weapon upgrades and you end up with obviously enemies getting far more hit points and it takes you need a lot more hits to take them down with your starting weapons because your starting weapons are in the end outclassed because they just don't do the damage. Whereas in this game because there is no upgrades and essentially every single weapon remains to an extent pretty usable until the end. Which is cool in a sense, because it means that you've always got options in combat. At the same time, the lack of upgrades does make it the combat relatively shallow, and just it's in what's capable within it. Anyway, so we will do our best to finish off Novalis this episode, I think, and then we'll be able to see about heading off to the next planet. Boom. So there are a total of 15 weapons in this first episode of Ratchet, in this first game of the Ratchet and Clank series. That does include, essentially that is all the weapons. One of them is the Rhino, and the Rhino is ridiculously expensive, 150,000 bolts, and for like later games in the series that means nothing, but in this first game where you can obviously only collect bolts in terms of 1 and 5, that is a very large amount, and usually takes several playthroughs to get there. Although it's nowhere near as bad as there's a trophy in this game for collecting, I believe it's 1 million. And I think that was really the first illustration I had that the people who made, because there are certain complaints about the trophies in this HD remake. I think the graphics done for the trophies are not of this generation, are sort of the PS3 Ratchet and Clanks, and aren't like unique at all. And yeah, they just sort of don't fit the game nearly as well as they could have. But one thing that I really got was the fact they asked you to get 1 million bolts in Ratchet and Clank 1, which is ridiculous really, because it just takes so long. I think it took me midway through my 4th playthrough to get that, which is like, in the end just too much time really for a trophy, and it's not even like particularly it's not a challenge, it's just time, and yeah, that sort of challenge isn't really what a trophy, I guess, is all about. But anyway, we're going to be able to come down here. The skill point in this, I believe the skill point in this planet is to shoot down some of the sort of the jets that are flying about. And that's just, well, not particularly, obviously not easy to do with the weapons we currently have, but we will be returning to Novalis because there are three gold bots to be collected on this planet, and we can only collect 2 of them at the moment because we don't have all of the gadgets that are at Ratchet's disposal. But we'll soon get access to that. So there we go.
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Oh, what are you? Mercenaries? Torturers? Assassins? I'll tell you anything. Here, take my infobot. It's all I've got left.
Sir, we're not assassins.
Hold on. Let's see what he's got.
Has this ever happened to you? Hi, I'm Captain Quark, and believe me, there's nothing worse than staring down a Blargian Snagglebeast from the inside and knowing your equipment isn't functioning properly. That's why I come to Al's Robo Shack for all my electronic needs. Al has been the exclusive repair shop for my super electro gadgets since I was knee-high to a sand mouse. If Al can't fix it, it's not broke. Right, Al? You said it, pal. So if you're fighting crime, or just fighting grime, come to Al's Robo Shack in Metropolis for all your robotic repairs. Al's Robo Shack, it's Quarktastic.
Do you know what this means?
Yeah, Captain Quark is really sold out.
No, it means Captain Quark is on Metropolis. We could tell him about this invasion.
If we had a ship.
What? A ship? What? You're not going to torture me? Well, as planetary chairman, I could arrange for you to borrow our courier ship.
Cool.
You can count on us, sir.
Right. Thank you, your chairman shipliness.
Now that you have the ordnance,
So there we go, we finish off planet Novalis for now, certainly. We have now access to 2 planets moving on, and we will definitely be going to Kerwan first. So Metropolis is definitely the first planet we should go to. And the reason for that is just because one of the gadgets you get in Metropolis is required for one of the pathways in Iridia, so it would be silly. But yeah, if I was to select this, you can see we found 2 of 3 gold bolts, and it shows all of the various missions.
Hello, citizen.
Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so if we exit, so yeah, we're going to go to Kerwan here. Another 3 gold bolts to find. A few more skill points and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. So here we are, we have landed on Kerwan, and just to finish off this episode, we're going to get a couple more lives, because we have enough money to buy some more weapons. Yeah, I think it makes sense for us to do so. Now, the first weapon we're going to get is pretty much one of the best weapons in the game, which is the blaster. It's just very, very reliable and very, very useful. And then we're also going to get the Pyrocitor, which is very useful against sort of swarms of smaller, weaker enemies. Yeah, you get those little cutscenes for every time you buy a weapon, but we don't need to see them all. So there we have it. We now have 3 lives, and we are here on Metropolis, on Kerwan, around Metropolis, and we are going to be completing this area next. So, I hope you have enjoyed this episode, this starting episode of my Let's Challenge of Ratchet and Clank, and I hope you will join me on the next episode, where we will be making our way through Kerwan, and then probably heading over to Iridia as well. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope you will join me on the next.